And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you can always tell when Sarah Black Bond is being interviewed by Fortune magazine. They've got to bring somebody in who is just as naturally complexioned as she is.
Xbox is one of the most recognized names in gaming and part of Microsoft's nearly $4 trillion tech portfolio.
What the hell?
The company's gaming division reported more than $23 billion in revenue and has 500 million monthly active users.
And let me guess, is all
the
thanks
gaming
to
company
Sarah
is home to fan favorite.
From the channel that brings you naughty bits like this.
No boobs.
And it's time to switch to audio vintage mode. Ooh, these TikTok bouncy babes get my head and eyes bouncing round and round just like the sugar babes. But on today's video, ladies and gentlemen, Xbox is dying. Rest in peace, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond. We will miss you, maybe not now, but maybe in 10 years down the line when I guess Xbox has brand new management, people from the old guard like me who will bring that living behemoth back to life again. But what am I talking about today, folks? Well, Digital Foundry, normally the people that start off a war, especially when we think about Stellar Blade, Project E back in the day.
The one thing, I know you were talking about the character from a bygone era. I do think the character model was actually like very distracting in not a good way.
Gay! Cheerleader, skirt-wearing, pom-pom-waving Alex Battaglia, who, by the way, listen, we give him a lot of stick. He's become an internet meme. We love him for it, but the guy knows his shit when it comes to ray tracing and the fundamentals of what makes good gaming graphics. Is he the best person on the Digital Foundry panel? No. John Lindenham is pretty good. And I like Richie Ledbetter and Tom What's-His-Face and the other white dudes who grace their faces from time to time.
But that's still not the main thing. What really knocks you off your chair is a certain effect that simply doesn't exist in later versions.
And why am I showing you vintage footage of GTA 5 on the Xbox 360? Well, stick around, folks, and you'll soon find out.
Watch this space.
The next half hour.
He brings you.
Now, it all began, boys and girls, in December of this year, the 22nd to be precise, where this post from Alex Battaglia of Digital Foundry said the following. Looking over the year, our coverage of Xbox titles, by the way, Alex doesn't speak like that. He's got the Lefreuden German accent. Our coverage of Xbox titles in videos almost feels like it's getting harder and harder to justify a return from work perspective. Very little views there, even for titles that you think could draw them in. Ooh, I wonder what he's taking a pot shot at. I find that very interesting. I wonder what the future is there. Now, this guy called Jay Bishi is a bit of a... he's a game enthusiast. He's a 90s gamer. I understand it, but this guy, JB Bishi or Jay Bishi, can't take criticism because obviously he's shilling really hard for the Xbox. That's how I'm painting this picture right here. And yes, he's a white bearded guy. So if you think I always go after specific demographics, well, here we are, me criticizing this guy's opinions. So Jay Bishi says, Alex Battaglia of Digital Foundry notes that Xbox coverage struggles for views, just like this guy's constant barraging of people's opinions about what he says in his post. But it's fair to question whether Digital Foundry's consistently negative framing of Xbox contributes to that decline. So according to Jay Bishi, Alex Battaglia, and every opinion that is framed around something that we don't like, whether it's a bad film or a bad comic book or a bad pop song by Sabrina Carpenter, apparently if we frame them in a negative light, it actually lowers the impact of the IP. I guess Jay Bishi wants everything to be all Dick Van Dyke for Mary Poppins. Come on, love, let's go down to the park. That was my best Van Dyke impression ever. I thank you. Save the applause for later. So the Crap Gamer America says, it could be that there's just very few Xbox fans these days. Almost everything they release is multi-platform anyway, which is true. And then, of course, Bishi says, that's a lazy take. It doesn't hold up under even basic scrutiny. There are tens of millions of consoles and homes and hundreds of millions of people playing through the Xbox ecosystem every month. You can tell this guy's got a big, massive Woody for the Xbox. Holy shit, man. So this girl here, Cryo, says, to be fair, if it was only positive coverage for Xbox by DF, they would be called Xbox shills. Again, very true. They dunk on Sony and Nintendo when they take missteps too. It's just Microsoft has been taking infinitely more missteps lately, and they're just covering the news. Criticizing Sony or Nintendo occasionally doesn't cancel out a constant stream of negative framing around Xbox. The thumbnails, the tone. Oh, thumbnails. Are we talking about thumbnails, Jay Bishi? How about this thumbnail? Does it frame my opinion in a different way, or are you just an absolutely gay retarded fool? And presentation create a pattern that shapes perception. This is not neutral analysis. This guy obviously needs to eat more roughage. That's all I have to say on that one regarding his opinions. But as you scroll down, he keeps getting more irate with replies. Like, apparently there isn't anyone on his level of intelligence, and I will question his intelligence, by the way, that doesn't get his point. So he should make up good news when there's bad news on Xbox, which I think is brilliant. And he actually got more views on that than his reply down here. The point is that his coverage often amplifies the negative far beyond what the facts justify. When every headline is framed as existential, people stop taking the coverage seriously. This guy, Jay Bishi, is an absolute retarded fuckaroo. That's what he is. Xbox has not released any fantastic exclusives this year. I'm going to show you in a minute, actually. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with the Sale of the Century music, with the best exclusive Xbox games of 2025. And then we have our Black Chick from South of Midnight. Again, Black Chick, South of Midnight. I think the two of those kind of go hand in hand, arm in arm, if you know what I mean. And again, yeah, the marketing for this game was absolutely bizarre because everybody was, well, let's face it, this is a Sweet Baby Inc. game, because if you look at the back history of this, your protagonist was meant to be a chick called Hazel, who's meant to be white, but because, oh, Sweet Baby Inc. came in and said, nope, 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 you gotta make her a black chick and make it more authentic, y'all. Which is the most ridiculous take I've ever heard. But then again, it's from Kim Belair. What else can we say on that point? And look, janky animations. Some people like this game. It's not made for me. You know, this is not the sort of thing I'd want to go and play. Even if a white chick was the main protagonist, I probably still wouldn't play anyway. So there you go. I can't be that hypocritical if I'm pointing at the obvious other fact. But again, they're calling it, it's narrative-driven moments, blah, blah, blah. It's a celebration of story, character writing. Don't you mean character sabotaging? Holy crap. Get it on Amazon. No, I'd rather not. So Keeper, I don't know anything about this game, although, again, with lots of pink hues going on. What's your demographic crowd out there, Xbox? Because we know you're gay already anyway. And then we get to Avowed, Matt Hansen, the man that thinks that all white people are bad.
Matt Hansen and the team have worked to create a unique, colorful, and dynamic visual style.
From the outset,
when it comes to race, no one gets offended like white people.
His dunking on white folks on social media didn't help with this game's profile. Then you had the other chick whose surname is Patel. She was fired after this game performed badly on Xbox, which I thought was so funny beyond belief.
Can you tell me exactly how many Avowed Sherpa blankets y'all have sold from the merch store?
I have no idea.
Which probably means you sell none.
Do you have an Avowed?
I want one now, though.
You don't have them in the studio?
A Sherpa blanket? That sounds amazing.
So wait a minute. you're one of the people that works on Obsidian's Avowed game coming out next week, but you don't know your own merchandise? And she seemed like a good laugh, actually, but I guess she must have been having the last laugh at Xbox's expense because they let go of her. And then Grounded 2, where, again, your primary protagonists are kids, but one of the kids here is wearing, I thought it was LGBT symbolism here, but it looks more like to do with Rastafarianism or some shit like that. So whatever. And then that's it. So again, we're talking about the Xbox Game Pass, how you get value for money. And yet the reason why you bought an Xbox 360 back in the day, because they would have some absolute banging titles to play on that platform. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the best PlayStation 5 exclusives for your, I don't even know if I can even call it your viewing pleasure, because we have Atsu from Gay of Yotai, which is pretty, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. But Death Stranding on the beach, again, solid reviews. I've only seen footage in the footage. Haven't played it at all. Ghost of Yotei, sold 3.3 million copies, but still adjectively a critical failure. Even if you liked the game, like I said, the Lord Sato should have been the main protagonist, the male guy. He was more interesting and fun to look at. In Dispatch, I've heard this is a pretty good game. I've not actually played it, but even if any of you, Laura Bailey and Aaron Paul are part of this. It kind of reminds me of Invincible. So is it Invincible inspired? It looks like it is, but again, short-haired female girl boss with a crop top, some titties, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's my cup of tea. Maybe it's not. Luminzaraz? I don't know what this is, so I can't offer any comment. And then we've got Big Butt Baby Steps protagonist here in a game called Baby Steps, which I don't know anything about. I mean, that's... So you buy a PlayStation 5 to play this, do you? Holy shit, man. Sony, Microsoft, no wonder you're doing so badly. Oh my God, absolutely awful. I mean, before I get back to this screen here again, folks, something I want to show you very quickly because, and I'm going to show you the video that this relates to. I bought GTA 5 on the 360. I didn't know this was available on that platform back then when it was released in 2013. I forgot. I thought, I was trying to recall, I thought the Xbox One came out around the same time this was released, but I did not know this was actually a release. And now the reason why I bought it, because the remasters that followed this particular title changed quite a few things in this game. The lighting, certain artifacts, it's incredible. I was like, I mean, again, those sort of things are very important to me. And the fact that this wouldn't need any updates means that whenever you play it on your OG 360 console, which I've got, this would be an amazing experience. And for me, to play this now on a 360 will be very, very awesome. I can't wait. Now, the video that the reason why I bought this was the video right here, which I'm going to show you in a few seconds, which is actually called, and I'll leave a link for you in the channel, if you're interested in watching it, things you only see in GTA 5 on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 from a channel called Gaming Investigators, Hubson. And watch this bit here because I thought this is so fascinating.
Another thing applies exclusively to the very first version of GTA 5 on PS3 and Xbox 360, the version untouched by any updates. On Vespucci Beach, you could originally come across a sculpture modeled after a real-life artwork. Later on, it was replaced with some weird, rusty, and rather unattractive thing. Apologies to art experts if I'm wrong. Either way, this happened because the creator of the real sculpture on which the original was based probably didn't want their work to appear in GTA 5. Let's keep going. In GTA Online in old consoles, and only on old consoles, there was a window tint option called Pure Black, which, as the name suggests, made the car windows completely pitch black. In later versions, this upgrade evaporated.
A last-minute edit because Kung Fu Hot Dog doesn't shut the F up.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you got an Xbox 360, the OG Xbox with the Duke controls, a PlayStation 3, and maybe to a lesser degree a PlayStation 4, hold on to those puppies. And I don't mean these puppies right here as much as I want to. And in fact, when it comes to buying the old games from CEX or GameStop, buy them en masse. It won't matter because the price of those games will not go up because the trend is everybody's now playing old games again. I mean, if you don't want to spend your hard-earned bucks on a PlayStation 5 for only a handful of exclusive titles from Sony, and the same goes for the Xbox One Series X, then don't buy them at all. Just hold back, play the old games. And yeah, sure, if you want to play some of the newer titles, you can always go on Steam and save yourself a few bucks in that respect. But when it comes to games preservation, folks, this is what I've always talked about. Go and source the old OG games because, as that particular GTA 5 video pointed out, if you get it without the updates, you play the game raw and unfiltered. And yes, that goes for Trevor's transphobic insult as well.
Oh, you really suck!
Ass-faced jerk!
The reason why there isn't much coverage, I mean, somebody said Jess Corden stated that there's more traffic on gaming guides online, which is crap because if you're talking about a published article on a website that's got a gaming guide like Kotaku was doing, nobody's going to that, bro. They're going to YouTube to look up how to get your Space Marine from this point to that point on your strategy role-playing game, right? None of that stuff where, oh, let's go over to a written text. It ain't, no one cares. I think even IGN might still do written guides, but people haven't been going to a written video game guide for years, to the best of my knowledge. So again, you've got that. You've got the leadership at Xbox. Satya Nadella, Phyllis Spencer, Sarah Bond, that DEI dummy for hire that can't even string two sentences together and always avoids the question when it comes to, well, Miss Bond, how did you get into video gaming and working at Xbox?
Well, I started out just loving the breadth of experiences I could get with consulting. I got to work at all sorts of different companies.
Yeah,
I did a ton
well,
of
they're
work
so
in
pretty.
tech.
They have LGBT pride
consumer
flags.
Businesses. And really early on, I had this hypothesis that consumer tech was going to be a really big thing, which now seems quite obvious in the world that we live.
Hey Sarah, how about you just answer the lady's question about how you got into video games? Not some rambling, bambling, monotone history of, oh my god, but you know what? It was so wonderful because I'm so effing bored already. You see what I mean about the relaxed hair? This is a black woman. Well, questionably, she might be mixed race from the way the light catches her, but do you see what I'm talking about? Why, Sarah? Why? You ashamed of your black heritage, love? You're not a proper black chick in the first place. What's the matter with you? This chick does not play Call of Duty, the Advanced Warfighter series. Oh, how would she? Does it look like a Ghost Recon girl to you? Give me a break, bro. Come on. Shameless Sarah. She's even got a picture of herself down below. As if Sarah Bond was a proper black woman, she would have a normal afro hair and not be so ashamed of it that she would actually chemically treat it so it looks like that of her white European counterpart. But there you go, folks. And then over to PlayStation, why they're so fundamentally failed these days, because again, leadership there. And who's the leader of the pack at the PlayStation hub? I've got no fucking idea. But then when you look at Naughty Dog and the other drivelly video game studios underneath Sony, and they only pooped out 5 titles this year, 2 of which might be worth looking at, but that's not really saying much, is it? And on that one, ladies and gentlemen, if I were you and if you were me, did you enjoy the vintage soothe sounds of Kung Fu Hot Dog today? Leave a comment below, smash that subscribe button, and I will catch you catching me for the return of the next video.
Watch Kung Fu Hot Dog mess up his lines.
So the best Xboxes of 321. What the facts justify. When every headline is framed as existential, I hate that word. But it's fair to question whether DF consistently negativing
Whatever you do, don't try this at home.
Buy a mini fridge for college, get a free ice tray. Or buy a PC for college, get a free Xbox 360. Buy a Windows 7 PC, get a free Xbox 360. All you really need for college. Unlock the deal at windows.com/free Xbox.